Okay, welcome back to M2G Militia. We are here with my deck tech for this week. It's Gladiolus Amicitia. I've not played Final Fantasy, as you can tell. I've literally never played a Final Fantasy game for real, so I just know the lore through secondhand. But I know this guy is a cool dude who has lands that he searches for. So he's a 6-mana 6/6, which is just fine stat line. And when he enters, search your library for a land, any land, put it on the battlefield tapped, shuffle. So can find non-basic lands real nice. And then, notably, he has another ability, Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, another target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains trample end a turn. So he's going to come in, make guys beefy, make guys basically unblockable, and kill people. So this is a deck all about Landfall, which has been kicking around for a while. I think I mentioned it like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and it just hadn't come around. But hey.
And there's actually another commander you could play if you wanted to play the red-green guy from...
Tanuk?
The Edge of Eternity's guy. You can play that guy too.
But yeah, I like Gladiolus because this is more like going beefy and like having that like targetedness of it. And also just like ability to immediately go over is nice. So this is my 1-mana ramp suite. We have our Boreal Grazer can immediately come in, throw in a land as an 0/3. Just nicely gets you ramped. And the nice thing about it compared to these 1-mana dorks that all tap for a mana is that once that lands in play, this doesn't have to tap to activate. So if I put like buffs on it, I don't have to tap it and waste the buffs if I want to attack with it, which is very nice. Then we got Studious First Year, my other land ramp version, which is it's a 1/1 creature that can eventually play Rampant Gross, which when I have Gladiolus out is very nice that, oh hey, this has a body that I can slap stuff onto while also getting lands out. And then we have the 3 Llanowar Elves that are real Llanowar Elves. Then we have my choice for the extra one, which is Boreal Druid. We'll get to why I'm not playing Arbor Elf instead of Boreal Druid a little later.
Or Orcish Lumberjack.
Well, I don't want to sack my lands.
That's true.
But the reason why it will be I have too many non-forest lands because I have the commander that says, hey, you get non-basics. So that'll come out. And then next we have my other ramp. So we have the classic Explore. So just put another land to play draw a card, similar to our Boreal Grazer. This is not really ramp, but it is like good land finding stuff for Gladiolus, so it just ended up in the package. But crop rotation, I can tutor out specific lands. Notably, there are lands I can tutor out that'll like sacrifice immediately, so I can sack this to get a land drop, which will get itself another land drop. So this will be 2 in addition to my land for turn and possibly the land for that. So crop rotation is an easy way to facilitate 3 to 4 lands in a single turn. Which, if we have Gladiolus out, that's +8/+8.
Yeah. Gun to my head, if we had to ban one card in the format, this would be the card I'd be looking at.
Yeah, it's definitely like a good possibility. Like the others are obviously like the staple like ones that you have there, like Gitaxian Probe and Daze and stuff like that. But yeah, and then we got 3 visits, Nature's Lore, as other just nice ramp cards. They're just here to help me get to 6 at like a timely manner, because I want to be able to play Gladiolus by turn 4 in most games. They're not like here for any like hyper synergy reasons of them. They're just the 2 best of the 2-mana ramps because they come in untapped.
Yeah.
And I did notably make sure I put in one of the tap lands that gets dual colors. I didn't put in both because the non-basic land space was tight. You'll see that in a minute when we get more into it. Then we got Elvish Rejuvenator as a body that can put a land into play. I chose this over like Wood Elves or Farhaven Elves specifically because it can put non-basics in. And there are a lot of relevant non-basics that this will be very happy to get.
Yeah, you can flip into a Basilisk Gate or something like that.
Yep. Or just like, I don't know, a Terramorphic Expanse or anything like that that can get more land drops.
Yeah.
And then we got Sakura Tribe Elder. Another way to get land drops like by prepaying in advance. Because if you use proper prepaying in advance, on the turn where you're actually doing stuff with it with Gladiolus, you'll have a bunch of mana to use effects with, like, I don't know, maybe what some of my removal is, which I'll show you here, like this fight effect, or this punch through effect, which if Gladiolus given the trample, will also trample over with the punch and deal a lot of damage while also killing stuff. And then because this deck is kind of aggressively slanted, we haven't seen the full aggressive slant yet, we've only seen the ramp, but I also put Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt to help pressure my opponent's life total while also being just nice little deaky dork removal. And then we got what I would say the landfall packages of creatures. So we got Territorial Scythe Cat, 2/1 trample. When it land enters, it gets a +1/+1 counter. So this is one of the slower ones, but the nice thing is it'll stay big.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about burst as much. We got Snapping Gnarlid, just a 2/2 that gets +1/+1 per landfall. Then we got Makindi Slide Runner, which is a 2/1 with trample that gets +1/+1 per. We got Akum Hellhound, a 0/1 that gets +2/+2 per. And Plated Geopede, a 1/1 that gets +2/+2 per. So generally you'd prefer to have the +2/+2 per because your land drops will count more than the little bit of extra base. But we also got Adventuring Gear here, so anything can get the +2/+2 per. Adventuring Gear is honestly insane with this deck. Like, if you put it on like anything medium or like that already has trample, and even if you didn't hit Gladiolus, you're gonna get some high numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're thinking like, oh, what are you doing with those numbers? Like, you're hitting them for 10. That's not killing them. But what if that 10 was 20? Assault Strobe, Teamer Battle Rage, Raking Claws, Rancor Circle 2.
Yeah.
So I did cut Uncaged Fury because it was 3 mana. It was maybe a little too much and like a lot of times, but it was just the last one that was like fine. It was like, okay, yeah, I can cut the 4th double striker. But Assault Strobe, 1 mana is sorcery. Teamer Battle Rage, if you have Ferocious, also gives trample. And then Raking Claws, you can cycle it if you don't have a need for it. So these are just like nicer, more flexible ones than the 3 mana Uncaged Fury, which would give +1/+1 counter as well, but not as necessary.
Well, just +1/+1. It doesn't give a counter.
Oh, is it only?
I think it's just +1/+1.
That's fine. But yeah, then we got Rancor here, which is the other thing I put in kind of instead of it, just so that I could have a nice, repeatable way to buff up guys when I don't have Gladiolus on the field to make myself a lot more resilient as just a Zoo-ish deck.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got what I would call like the mid-range package.
Yeah.
So we just got like the nice Malevolent Rumble, good on 2, just gets a guy down, gets you a card you might want. Bannerite Crew Shock. We've talked about this death, but just nice reinforceability and nice scavenging.
Just a really good card.
Yep.
Pretty much the Michelin staple at this point.
Yep. And then we got the Eldrazi Repurposer Jewel Thief. They're 3 mana guys that make mana. Just nice coming down on curve, and it will help you like say, oh, I turned 2 an Eldrazi Repurposer. Now there's a higher chance that I could turn 3, turn 4 Gladiolus, while still developing on the board strong creatures.
Yeah.
Then we got Summon Fat Chocobo to give everything trample. Also, it creates a landfall-based bird. Like, it'll only get +1/+0, so it won't get as like big on both sides, so it'll be a little more frail. But it is another creature that can take advantage of your landfall creatures, or landfall triggers. Then we have Writhing Chrysalis here. It is a 2/3 for 4, but it is effectively a 4/5 if you sack off the Eldrazi spawn, so it synergizes nicely with the Repurposer Malevolent Rumble, and is just good for going wide and blocking stuff. Notably, also in this matchup, it has Reach, so that could be relevant later. And we have Sagu Wildling. 5 mana, 3/3 flyer, gains 3 life, but very good for this deck as it can search up extra land drops if I'm missing out or anything like that.
Yeah, also just a borderline staple. Like, Saga Wildling is just a good card.
Yep.
In green decks.
I like it. And then what I would have is like my dedicated, like more ramp payoff style stuff. So we got Annoyed Altasaur, big 6/5 trample reach cascade. So we'll get another thing out. Boarding Party, 6/3 haste. This deck's kind of aggressive, so like having this also with the ability to potentially give it trample, like by playing it, then playing a land, it's a lot more resilient than you'd see in other decks where it's like, well, you just block it. And then we got Colossal Dreadmask with all like my little diddly 1/1s and stuff. I just like having this to resuit them up and make them actual threats in the late game. And then Nyxbor Hydra, another way to like spend all this excess mana I've accrued and turn it into actual value on like piddly guys that when it dies, oh hey, I got a second guy.
It's sometimes even better than a Colossal Dreadmask because
you don't have to equip it.
Yeah.
It just falls off and is, hey, a guy. Then I got all my non-basic lands here. I guess I'll just start with it because it's on the top.
Gates.
I ended up deciding, like, yeah, the gate package is good enough. Notably, though, this deck doesn't want to rely on it. It doesn't really want the gate package early. This is more the backup plan is if you don't explosively kill them, because if your explosive kill is working, you don't have mana to play Basilisk Gate's ability.
Yeah.
You just kill them.
Yeah.
But if it does like slow down a little bit, or if like you hit these off the top, it's like, okay, now I can start just like chipping away for 4 until I get like a good Gladiolus turn.
It's also just a really good Gladiolus target, right?
Yep.
Like Basilisk Gate is just really, really good.
Yeah, like if I know I'm playing into like a control deck or something where like my 1/1s will need to be a lot more valuable, I can specifically target these up instead of going for my more explosive outs.
Yeah.
Which, these are my utility lanes. Gruhl Turf is nice to pull off with Gladiolus because what you can do is be like, okay, play land, play Gladiolus, get Gruhl Turf, bounce the Gruhl Turf. Now on my next turn, I can play Gruhl Turf forever as a land drop every single turn if I don't need extra mana.
Yeah.
Then Wooded Ridgelines here is to search for, or to get searched off of all my mountain forest targets. So just nice, easy peasy there. And then I have a lot of things that sack to get lands. So we have the 3 classic Evolving Wilds type effects: Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, Escape Tunnel. Escape Tunnel's the best because you can be like, oh hey, I got a 2/2. It's unblockable. Okay, give a +4/+4. Give a +4/+4. Hit you for 10?
Yeah.
But a lot of times you probably will just be sacking it because the +2/+2 from it is relevant enough, especially with the trample. Then we got the 2 best ones, in my opinion, because of how they work with Gladiolus specifically, which is Riveteer's Overlook and Cabaretti Courtyard. You don't really want to draw these. You want to search with Gladiolus because, say I search with Gladiolus, Terramorphic Expanse. Comes in tapped, sits here, does nothing. Search up Riveteer's Lookout. It immediately sacks itself, gets another land, +4/+4 without any other work. And notably, I'm only running these and not the monocolor one because these are both the ones that search for both a forest and a mountain.
Yeah.
Just because I want to keep my options open, even though you'll see in a second I'm only running one mountain. I still need to have red for my commander, so I need to not screw myself over on that.
Yeah.
And the last one is Promising Vein. There are 3 other cards that do the exact same thing as this. I only put 1 in because I didn't think I needed more than 6 options. But the other ones are Shire Terrace or something like that, which is the Lord of the Rings version. Then we got Jund Panorama and Naya Panorama.
Yeah.
Which, even though those say another color on them, similar to these, they don't actually have mana symbol of it.
They effectively do the same thing.
Yep.
Play whichever one you want, right? Like, it doesn't...
Yep, they can all search for a forest or a mountain, and they
tap for a colorless.
tap for a colorless, and then pay 1 sack it.
Yeah.
The only ones I would say definitely do not play are like Warp Landscape, because that's pay 2 to sack it, and it doesn't do anything extra.
Yeah.
And that's it for the non-basic lands. And then we got the basics. We got 1 mountain as a search target. Then we got 3 forests, 6 forests, 8 forests. With our 1 dedicated to Annoying Hunter.
2, 3 dedicated to...
Well, they're the same border.
That's not what matters.
Matters to me.
That's true.
Like, I go with more like a vibe aesthetic, and since they all have the same border, they are matching the vibe. And then I realized I didn't sort out my sideboard beforehand, so...
Yeah, you go through a card by card.
That's awkward oversight, but yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, we got Ancient Grudge, Artifact Destruction, Heritage Reclamation, Artifact Enchantment Destruction, Mass Vandal, Artifact Enchantment Destruction, but on a creature, so you can buff it up to kill people. Then we got... Let's see. Next part is... Yeah, I'll just do this. Red Ellie, Pyro.
Standard.
Yep, stereo standard, you play them against blue decks. Easy peasy. Then we got Entourage of Trust and Crimson Fleet Commodore. Very standard Monarch stuff. Probably not coming in this matchup because he has a bunch of flyers. It's going to be taken away way too easy.
Yeah.
Then we got what I'll say is like Anti-Control, which is for Snakeskin Veil, Tameo Safekeeping, and Sprout Swarm.
Also not coming in this matchup.
Yep, but these are to protect Gladiolus so that like I can actually like get a bunch of landfall triggers. Sprout Swarm is as like an alternate way of just getting a bunch of creatures. If I've like got all this land out, I gotta have something to spend it on. And then we got my anti-aggro stuff, which is Weather the Storm, Pulse of Marasa, and Jodi Offshoot. Pulse of Marasa can also be fine into control decks because it can get a creature back, but this will gain a bunch of life over the course of the game, and Jodi Offshoot blocks like heck. Then we get Relic of Virginius as anti-graveyard. Notably, also Heritage Reclamation can do some anti-graveyard. And then Lignify as just another way to like blank strong commanders. It's just nice to have. And that's it for Gladiolus. So we'll see you in the gameplay a little later this week. Make sure you do all the good stuff, like, share, subscribe, and yeah.